Hopefully the lighting is decent. Hi, Bella. How are you? Hopefully nothing falls on me today. All right. I'm just finishing up some last minute setup here. I wanted to make sure that I got that taken care of. It is so warm in my back room. Oh my gosh. I'm remembering why I only stream in the morning and the evening. There's just this wall of heat coming off the window I face, which is kind of funny. All right. I'm just getting my frame in place so I can make sure that I don't pop out of frame for you. It's no fun when that happens. I'm just kind of wiping up some glitter. So, you know, glitter gets everywhere. Okay. See if I can get the framing for, yep, okay, cool. So I can see that. Whee. Still getting an echo. Let's see if I can turn that down. All right. Ouch. Can you guys hear me okay? Does it sound all right? Or are you guys getting an echo too? Let me know. I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure what's happening. No, I really appreciate that you're staying up late, Bella. Thank you. So I'm just going through my swatches real quick so we can look at the colors that came out, I think, this week or coming out this week. Let's see. What did I do with those? If anybody's curious, this is, where'd the color go? This is one of the colors that I posted today, as well as this one. So today's mani that I posted on Instagram was Primal Survival and Dense Canopies. Dense Canopies is chromable to a like shimmery black brown, almost green. It honestly could like lean a bunch of different directions. Okay, I'll put that down. And coming out this weekend or next, we have Never Packed, which is a green with gold foils. Alibi, which is a pretty brown. West of the Sand, which is this gorgeous green. And then You'll Be Forgotten, which has kind of this pink, burgundy, rose goldness to it. It's really beautiful. Okay. Those are kind of the pairings, I think, that I thought would go together, or even that. Okay. Those are those colors. Let me double check if those what came out this weekend. I have been so overwhelmed. Oh, what movie are you watching, Bella? Let's see if I can get this minimized. And I can check in the group. It is so warm. How's the weather over there in Europe, Bella? Let me know. Okay, so news from the group is Liana's Ocean is back in stock. I'm not sure if I see this new collection releasing, so consider that a sneak peek, and maybe we'll do Liana's Ocean today if these aren't out. Or we can go back and do one of these ship ones that I really liked. Let's see. Kind of scrolling through our group, checking all the news. Let's see. I wish Facebook was a little more quick and user-friendly. I'm like trying to scroll through things. Juicy. Man. If you guys don't have Liana's Ocean, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's a beautiful teal glitter with a little bit of glow. It's super gorgeous. All right. So you will save these colors for either Britt will cover them because she's doing a live this month, or I will get to them at the end of the month. Okay. So let me see the other colors I have. I grabbed those. I really want to use Liana's Ocean. It's so gorgeous. Let's see. Dense canopies. You can't go wrong with any of Cassandra's colors. Anyways, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Brandis, otherwise known as BdazzldNails, here, there, and everywhere. I have an Instagram, a YouTube, a TikTok, a Pinterest, a like to know it shop where I link beauty and fashion sometimes, things that I'm really liking or that people I am watching love. I do a lot of research. It used to be my job. I used to work for a company called Elfster, and I literally created their affiliate gift guides. So I would work with different companies like Target and Nordstrom and create gift guides that were full of highly researched, very popular, good quality stuff. So that used to be my job after I was in video games doing marketing and customer service. And now I love nails and all things beauty. So I'm digging for Liana. If I can't find Liana, we are going to do Sea Monster and Oh Dark 100, I believe. Just picking out what I've got. Want to know where Liana went, though. It's such a gorgeous color. But otherwise, how is everybody today? Shiro is doing much better. He's much happier. Do not know what happened, which is still scary because it means it could happen again, and nobody wants that. Mysterious animal illnesses are not high on my list of things to experience, especially after losing my kitty a month ago. So I might have been a little gun shy of, oh my God, my animal's sick. But I truly think I had a reason. All right. Hopefully my live is still going. It keeps showing me a black screen on my other device. So hopefully I'm not boring everybody. You guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. I still see something on my screen, so it appears I'm here. Hi, Nora. How are you? How are you doing, Laura, if you're still here? Okay. So I'm not finding Liana. I don't know what I did with her, and now I'm very sad. But I have pulled out some of my standby colors, like Shine Bright, which is my white glow. I always keep that around in case I need it. I recently upgraded my Foxglove Frolic to a 0.25 because it is one of my very favorite like milky purples. It's a beautiful color. Hopefully not breaking anything over here. When we go shopping, my husband tends to bring my stuff back to my room and just kind of places it anywhere, which is a bit of a problem. It means when I do come in here to set up for a live, I'm usually moving things around and reorienting every single time I come in here, which is very frustrating. You think you're ready to go. Thanks, Laura. Yeah, me too. He's being adorable. He came and put his head in my lap right before I came in here. He wanted me to hang out. All right, so I am just brushing off the dust off my press-on stands. These are from Liquid Layers. They are my favorite, and I have been using the heck out of them. I've literally got like 4 sets ahead right now. I'm finding them so easy to work on, and they recently released this part itself separately. So I'm actually going to go in and buy a few extras. That way I can be sort of going through my sets and getting them ready. And paint, because I like to hand paint, and it's nice to have those sort of off to the side on my table, and I can pop new ones on that I need to go into the lamp, etc. My sips today is Celsius, the sparkling Fuji pear apple. It's delicious. It's one of my favorites. And I'm extremely tired today, so it's much needed. And luckily it's sugar-free. So, even though I'm a mess, it didn't spill. It didn't cause any problems. Cannot drink anything without making a mess. All right. So the 2 colors we're looking at using are super gorgeous. It is the Thermal Oh Dark 100 and Sea Monster, which is a glow glitter. They are both in the navy family, and Sea Monster has a lime green to it, which is gorgeous. I love it. Hi, Latricia. I hope you're still there. I'm kind of going back and forth on like my different chats that I have going. That was to YouTube. So we are going to do a dip mani. For anybody who doesn't know that, this is for Lift Your Spirit dips. I'm like way off track. Lift Your Spirit dips. My code is BdazzldNails10. And these are the colors we're using. They are, I'm very much moving towards fall. I've still got a few more bright manis in mind, but fall is where I'm like minded. So we're going for the dark colors today. It was 2 collections ago, and we are using tips. So these are the GAOY matte nail tips. These are the medium almonds. Checking out, hi Michelle. I am checking out a few of these different medium to short lengths on Amazon because I really like the shorter ones. I think they feel more accessible. I think people sort of feel like they could wear them, and they're not just seeing a super long nail design that doesn't feel like something they could do on their own. And then I like to wear them. So sometimes I make full sets, and then I will wear the press-ons. So why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone? Okay. So lately I have been measuring my press-ons with my gloves on so that I don't get like extra shrinkage so they look weird. It's kind of been working out. It's not perfect, but anybody who's worked with press-ons and dips can kind of know sometimes you get shrinkage and the tips will become too small. So avoiding that is ideal. So kind of fitting them over the glove means they'll also sort of fit over the press-on tab. So I just kind of go through here, and I sort of know jumps in sizes. This is the first time I've run into a brand that didn't have them like, maybe not this one. It's another brand that I was looking at. Yeah, it was another brand. They didn't have them organized correctly. So I know my jumps in sizes. So if I'm like one size on my middle finger, I'm going to be the next size on my ring finger, and then on my index. You always want to make sure that it's side to side without nail exposed. Those are going to give you the best fit. And you always want to err on slightly oversized to be adjusted versus undersized, because then you're going to have your nail bed show, or if you are putting them on with nail glue, you're going to have issues with leakage and potentially getting product on your skin, and nobody wants that. Now I'm just looking for my press-on tabs, which are over here, but I had to move. Yep, that's it. Okay. So I use, for my nail stands, these like museum tabs. I get them anywhere, really. You can get them on Temu, Shein, Amazon. They come in oval, circle, and the long ones for if you want to keep your press-ons in like a binder, which some of our girly pops do. And I just ordered a binder so I can start doing the same thing, because I really like them and I want to look at them. We work so hard on our sets. What I need to do too is I need to like write down the brand of tips I used. So if I want to go back and create a matching set to have a full hand, then I can know which brand tips to grab. Like use my label maker or something for that. I'm trying to be more organized. My husband is ready for me to get diagnosed with ADD. He's very mad at my psychiatrist, who decided they wanted to check my sleep quality first. He's like, I have been with her for 16 years. It is not her sleep. I'm so lucky he loves me. All right, I'm just making sure that I'm seeing all the chats. I don't know. YouTube is weird. It's like no matter what I want, when I say I want all the chats, it's always showing me top chats. It's very frustrating. So anyways, I just apply it to the stand. It folds over on both sides. I take the tip and I make sure that it's centered. And the reason I love these so much is because even though I have a very tiny nail, it fits, and some of the stands don't, and you end up like when you put your gel top coat on, you end up like gluing it to the stand, or when you do your dip base, it glues it to the stand. It can be very frustrating. Not my favorite. To ensure a good seal, you want to press it down. And if you want to ensure a good seal on your fingers, it's recommended that you can heat the regular press-on tabs either with like a quick blow dryer or finger sort of activation, and it will make them stickier and make them last longer. Kieran's hanging out with his dad. We had a little bit of an early wake up today for the house, but everybody's in a good mood. Kieran loves hanging out with his dad on the weekend, so it's always happy times when that's going on. I am trying to carefully read. Yep, okay. All right. So this is like I was going to do them on my right hand. I'm actually going to do them on my left. So they need to swap. Or I will design them like they're going to be on my right hand, which I'm not doing. So swap those over. There we go. Thumb, thumb, pinky. All right. Don't get confused in the middle of designing your sets, because then you will realize you made them for the wrong hand. I'm not going to say how many times that's happened to me recently, but it's been more than once. Less than 5. And some more easily fixed than others. So I am taking off the little excess of the press-on tab that can be there left on the tips. So I start with that. I don't want to change the shape because the whole reason we're using full cover nails is because they come shaped. So unless it's really egregious, I tend to just like to leave them shaped as they are. And then I will just sort of take down any bulk off the sides to pre-start that thinning, because once you add acrylic dip, it will thicken those sides. So any little bit of thinning you can do is really going to be helpful, unless you're not like wrecking the tip. Oh, I'm just using a buffer. In the back. And these are pre-mattified. They have texture, so you could go straight in with gel polish or base if you wanted to. Again, I'm just doing this to shrink the size of the nail and the width. Okay. And I will do this before I apply them, if I'm planning on applying them with jelly glue too. Okay. Then brush this off. So what did everybody eat last night? Bye, Bella. Have a great night. Yep, thank you. Sweet dreams. Hope you get good rest. Anybody who's staying, what did you guys have for dinner last night? Or for tonight, if you're making it tonight. We made spaghetti and a dupe of the BJ's mozzarella salad with chopped and sliced fresh mozzarella, fresh basil, diced red onions, chopped tomatoes, and balsamic glaze. It's so good. So we had that with the spaghetti and a little bit of bread. Kieran had fun. They went to the store to buy the bread. It's good times. All right. Let me get my dip boats ready. So Liquid Layers also makes these flexi boats that I use for my manis. I believe they currently come in 2 sizes, 0.25 and 0.5. It's rare that you need one bigger than that, because you usually don't need to, like, if you have like a full ounce of dip, you don't usually need to pour all of that into your flexi boat. You're just dipping with some of it. So it's pretty uniform, pretty basic to stick with those 2 sizes. So that's what they look like. Here are the dips we are working with tonight. Today, this afternoon, sometime. Sea Monster, which is this beautiful glitter. The glitters themselves glow. And then it's in kind of a navy and blue base, like blue glitter base in there. Super gorgeous. Oh, Dark 100, which is a thermal, deeper kind of navy color. Let me double make sure I get the glitter out of there. Looks like my thermal powder clumped up a little bit, which can happen when it is exposed to humidity. And it has been very humid in California. Over here in the desert, we're not used to that. That's not something we generally see. So it's easily fixed. Again, pour it into a container and you just can kind of just mush it down again. And if you struggle with your dips doing this kind of stuff, there are silica packs you can buy on Amazon. And anything I have to store in my garage, I throw a couple of the silica packs into it to help absorb the humidity. And you just kind of change those out. Like once a year or something. Should be enough. I find it very helpful for long-term storage of acrylic. I saw a fuzz. It came off the brush. There, got it. All right. We've got the little micro silvers that I love. They're so pretty. It's like looking literally at a night sky. And then Sea Monster, which is sort of that toxic lime green glitters that glow. I am deciding if we're doing a couple glitter nails and O Dark 100, or if we want to do all O Dark 100 and then add glitter to all of the nails, glitter to some of the nails. Maybe we'll do all, we'll start with all of the O Dark 100 and then sort of decide from there. Okay. Let me grab my paper towels for cleaning my brush. Gotta grab another roll. Oh, almost out. I bought a new chair for my office and I'm not loving it. I think I'm gonna have to put a chair mat back here so I can roll backwards and forwards a little easier. I drop dips too often to not be able to roll my chair back easily. Keep getting stuck. It's not comfortable. All right. Now, generally, when you're working with a jelly tip, you don't need to put a ton of extra layers on. You can get away with one or two, depending. Frequently, especially with the Cassandra's glitters, you can get away with one nice layer of glitter with maybe some hand-placed pieces. And that helps keep your nails thin. She does make very, very fine dips. So sometimes for thermals, I will do 3 layers. I tend to do the sandwich method, where I will do 1 full layer, 1 center layer, and 1 full layer again. And that gives you the opacity at the center of the nail while maintaining some of the thinness at the sides of the nail. So when you're working with full cover tips, and acrylic dip, that thinness is really going to be your target to get a nice looking set of nails. And so the little things you can do as you go will help with that a lot. And I still sometimes find once they're on my fingers that I have to file them a little bit. They're still a little too thick, or they might be a little flat. And it kind of will also depend on the kinds of tips you use. I really like sculpted tips. I have a narrower, rounder nail bed, but not a lot of companies make nice sculpted tips. And the ones that do are a little more expensive, so I don't buy them as often. Ah, See those beautiful glitters. So pretty. I don't know if anybody else is on YouTube, but if you are, hi, hello, how are you? I hope you can hear me. If you can't, that really stinks, but I believe my Facebook people can hear me, so if you're experiencing trouble, I am live on Facebook. My link is on my page or in my Instagram stories. That's generally where I will post it prior to going live. I'm never sure if YouTube will work, so I generally don't pre-schedule, just in case. I'll let that set up a little bit. So how are you, Michelle? How are you, Laura? How's life? How was your trip, Laura? What was your highlight of going to Nolans? Did you have gumbo? Did you have, what are those delicious pastries? The beignets. Did you have beignets? Did you have coffee? The fancy coffee? The chicory coffee? And if you did, what did it taste like? I've only had chicory and like fiber-rich like breakfast bars and cereal bars, so not quite the same thing. Probably not as tasty. Oh, did you have like any, do they come in different flavors? Are they generally just like powdered sugar? Beignets are a fried donut type, like it's like a hunk of dough versus like a circle of dough. They're fried, usually tossed with powdered sugar. Crab beignets for dinner. What is a savory beignet? What nail stuff are you working on, Michelle? Anything we can know about? So I'm going in for my second layer, which is the sandwich layer. So I try to stay sort of in an oval in the center of the nail, going slightly over to the side, not all the way to the end, and then not all the way to the tip. I try to keep it as even as possible. It's not always possible. Caramel and chocolate sauce is delicious. A Lisa Frank collab. Ooh. So the crab beignet, how is that served? I'm very curious. I'm always curious about like savory, like things you view as desserts turned savory. Like I'm a fan of some corn puddings, but like I wouldn't consider that a dessert. But it's kind of like a dessert, so that's like a savory, like a dessert turned savory to me. Okay. Some Mexican restaurants, I don't know what it's called, but I call it corn blob. And it's basically like maize or cornmeal. It's like kind of sweet. I don't know. Very good. One of my favorites. We always were able to get it at like El Torito Grill. But when we moved outside of LA where we're at now, I have not been able to find an El Torito Grill. So I'm very sad. It was really good. Well, describe it, Laura. I need to know. I'm such a foodie. I need to know. We're just having rosemary chicken for dinner tonight. My husband's cooking. It's funny, they went to the store last night to get the bread and some fruit. And when they came back, I was basically done with dinner. Okay. Kind of like a crab cake, but inside a fried pastry instead. Interesting. Interesting. I would probably like that. I lived in North Carolina long enough to appreciate a lot of different seafood dishes that are prepared more southern. But not as quite as much as my mom. My mom liked frog legs and stuff. That was never my thing. I don't care how much she told me it was like chicken. I'm like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. It's made of frog. Nope. I found this YouTube channel, and I'm trying to figure out if it's made by AI or if somebody's actually sort of bringing it all together. Oh, shrimp. Yes. And they go over like dishes of the past or like now unpopular foods. So think steak Diane, casseroles, meat, jello salads and aspics and stuff. And all the ranging up to discontinued chocolate bars and stuff like that. So late at night, I've been kind of letting those just sort of run in my feed and watching. I'm like, oh man, my mom used to feed me that. Like liver and onions. My mom never made me eat that because her mom made her eat that all the time. And then her great-grandma made her eat squirrel brains because my great-grandma's Native American. That was, from the Depression, and that's just what they did. And, any creature was up for grabs if you could catch it. I was like, no, thank you. Cow tongue, stuff like that. Never would I have ever eaten that as a kid. But now I actually like tongue, but I only get it at like Korean and Japanese barbecue places because I like it sliced very, very, very thin and then grilled. And then with a little bit of sesame oil and a little bit of like rock salt. I find that to be very tasty. A big old slab of it, like my mom probably tried to serve me. No, thank you. So sorry. Not for me, madam. So I just think it's funny. The different foods that have come in and out of fad and fashion and what people thought were super delicious recipes back in the day or why some of the recipes came around. Like there's some episodes that talk about how like Knox Gelatin would run different recipe contests. And that's how they came up with a lot of their weird jello salads. It's just like housewives trying to win sewing machines and stuff, writing up some crazy out there stuff. And then trying to like one up their friends. So that's kind of the story behind some of those crazy recipes. And I like knowing that there's weird stories behind stuff like that. There's another channel I watch called Tasting History. And he makes super, super historic recipes. And he's always got a little a little Pokemon in the background. Hi, Christy! Okay, can you send me a message from this account so I know this is the right account? I almost got scammed by your Instagram account when it got taken over. So, it was very scary. So please message me. Something that you and I would only know. I don't know. Things we talked about that go bah. So yeah, if you guys are ever bored and you're looking for something edifying and educational on YouTube and you like food, Tasting History. Ooh, he ate a gator burger. Okay, what's a gator burger like? Is it tough, dry, gamey? Is it like dark meat? Talk to me. There's a heck of a lot of gators out there. Okay. Good to know that, Christy. Yeah. If I had lost my Instagram account, oh my gosh, I would have died. Would have died. I'm like, I'm not starting over. I quit. And on one of those shows, frog legs was one of the things that had been super popular and then gone out of fashion. So it was mixed to try to make it more palatable. Interesting. Interesting. Tasted weird. That's so funny. I'm glad he was adventurous and tried it. Like, generally, I would say try everything at least once. You know, I might not commit to an entire dinner of new things, but I will add something new and then something I know I'll like. Just to be safe and make sure I've got food to eat. But I will try something new. And then if I suspect it was the preparation that made it not good, I'll try it a second time. But if it's so far afield that I could not imagine it being good, I just put a little X through it and move on. Like, I do not like monkfish liver. It's a big thing that you'll find on some sushi, like fancy sushi places. I don't like monkfish. It's too mushy. I just don't like the texture of it or the flavor. I don't really find it has too much flavor in general. And so I just don't consider it to be worth eating. It wasn't awful, but just not. There's better things out there, and I would rather spend my sushi money on tastier things like scallops or surf clams. Delicious. Okay. So now we have 3 total layers of Oh Dark 100 that we are letting set up. I got a little bit that I missed over here on the pinky. So I'm just gonna spot fix that, and then we'll clean it up so we don't contaminate our solid. Oof. So again, Oh Dark 100, Lift Your Spirit dips. It's a thermal with beautiful micro silver reflect glitters in there. This is Oh Dark 100 by Lift Your Spirits, and we're going to use Sea Monster as the glitter, which I haven't quite picked placement yet, but I wanted to do a base of the thermal. So that is what we've laid out so far, and then the glitter, just Sea Monsters over here, and it's the glitters themselves that glow. I'm just giving the nails a light brushing, the ones that I know don't look wet. All right, now I'm going to think about how I want to integrate the glitter. So there's 3 sizes of glitter. Got like the larger normal hex, a medium hex, and a small hex. Doesn't look like I have a ton of the larger hex. It's mostly the medium. But I kind of like the idea of using them as gems. Oh no, Christy, you had another gel reaction. I'm so sorry. That's a bummer. So I think we're going to use the glow glitters as sort of a decoration on the nail, and then we're going to do a little swirly design on the thumb for fun. So let's see, I'm looking for my tweezers so I can fish out glitters. Where did my tweezers go? Where did my tweezers go? There's nail clippers, not nail clippers, cuticle clippers, just in case. Aha, there's my two clippers. All right. So I'm going to use another boat to hold the glitters that I dig out. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 nails. So we need 4 of the larger glitters, 4 of the mediums, and then 4 of the smalls. Uh-oh. Sounds like the boys might be going on a walk. And they're not taking Shiro with them, so he's getting mad. Shiro was such a little baby yesterday, like a doll baby, not like a whiny baby. When he wasn't feeling good, he like collapsed into my lap and just like looked up with me with like the most pathetic little look. I was just like, oh my God. Like totally different compared to the stoicism of a cat. And I've just been reading on my Kindle, or I found this app that if you pay for it monthly, you get free books to read called Gality. They're like the serialized ones that you have to like kind of pay for on other sites. So I've been kind of slowly reading through those as I have time. It seems like the one thing I can do if I'm not like super sick with a migraine is read. I just kind of take off my glasses and I can read and empty my brain out. So if I'm really, really icky, that's what I'll do. I'm getting my Botox next week, so that will help my migraines. It takes about a week to kick in. But this last month, it was like it wore off extra fast. And I was reading online that some of the Botox manufacturers are actually diluting the strength. And I don't know if it's just cosmetic or if it's also medical. So like the 0.0001 that's effective for you may now be like half the strength. So it wears off faster, which is a nightmare because I only get approved for every 3 months. There is no going for an early fill up. So once it wears off, I'm toast till it's time. So hopefully it's not the case. And for some reason, I just blew through it earlier this month. Because yeah, it's been a mess. My migraines have been a little out of control. All right. So I picked out 4 large, 4 medium, 4 small to use as the gems. And then we're going to do a little swoop-de-swoop. Oh, Michelle, I'm so sorry to hear that. Hi, Tara. I missed it when you popped in. How are you, girly pop? Hope you were good. Alana, hi. He has the cutest little bark. Yeah. Thank you, Laura. He does. Hi, Kim. Yeah, it's a bummer. Actually, my neuro was on vacation and I needed a re-up on my nortriptyline. And the doctor was like, no, that's been so his like the fill-in doctor was like, that's been discontinued. You're not taking that. You haven't been taking that for months. I'm like, tell that to my medicine cabinet. They're like, no, you failed it. That's why you're getting the Botox. I'm like, yeah, no, I failed it by itself. And I failed the Botox by itself. It's only when they layer 3 or 4 or 5 medications that I'm getting any kind of relief. And if he had just looked at my medical record carefully, he would have seen that. So it took me, I ran out. And so it took like 3-4 days to get the nortriptyline back in. Luckily, I'm a medicine hoarder. And so every time they've like changed my dose, I've just kept the back smaller dose just in case. So, because nortriptyline, if you come off of it too fast, you get seizures and a bunch of other things. Okay, so that's what you were saying, Michelle. Hi, Erica. I just had the occipital and cervical nerve ablation yesterday to try and help. Maybe it could help you too. For the migraines. Oh my gosh. Interesting. I will have to read up on that. Because my migraines do tend to be on the right-hand side, more that transgeminal nerve. And so I'll kind of know, even if the Botox is working, you still get migraines. But generally you don't feel them, or they don't progress to being like the overwhelming pain. So I usually know if I tap my eyebrow or right above my eyebrow or into my hairline, I'll know I have a migraine by doing that, and it hurts to the touch. And so I can tell pretty frequently how often I'm getting them, even if I'm not feeling them full blown. And I'm getting them a lot. Like, they're still there. They're just not progressing, which, you know, thank God for that. Because I was useless before the Botox. It was so bad. I was starting to wonder how I was ever going to care for Kieran. But for now, the Botox is working. Just enough. It's working enough. Like yesterday, I made it through all of the dog craziness until Tom made it home. Yeah, Michelle, definitely. Let's talk about that. I wasn't sure what kind of ablation you meant when you said that. So yes. Yeah, Shiro's going a little crazy. I think Dad has him in his little playpen area, and Shiro wants to be out and about with everybody. Because he's a little love bug like that and wants to be up with everybody. It's so cute though. He hugs. He comes up and he hugs you. And I know it seems like he could be trying to do something else, but he's not. Because it's very obvious when he's trying to do that. Everything we're reading, and the vet that we talked to says we can't get him fixed yet. I'm like, please. He's annoying the crap of our other fixed dogs. But he's like just annoying them. They're like, we are so done with this kid. Leave us alone. Stop trying to do that to us. Yes, Alana, we got the puppy. He is 13 weeks old now. And they told us it was a Labradoodle. He is not a Labradoodle. He is a Sheepadoodle. And he is already huge. So my husband is a little concerned about size. And one of the vet techs we talked to said that the Sheepadoodle she watched last week for a friend was 75 pounds. Oh, this is Sea Monster and O Dark 100. I have gone back 2 collections, I believe, maybe 3 right now, to pull these. We are doing a base of O Dark 100, and then we are decorating with Sea Monster. I'm doing my little swirly thumb. I'm on the fence about if we're going to do a swirly middle finger, but we're going to use the others as sort of like a gem because the glitters glow. So I wanted to kind of have them be on all the nails. So as you can see, I've got a little bit of a ridge there from when my base got a little too thick. So I'm just going to lightly buff that down. Haven't activated yet. I just saw the ridge and I wanted to make sure I took care of it before it got solidified. All right. So here's the little ones that I put them in the in the green boat. They're probably more easily seen in the pink boat. There we go. So those are the ones I pulled out to decorate with. And so we're just gonna brush off. Going to drop. I'm going to do a cuticle decoration, I think. I'm going to grab one of my dotting tools. Grab that. And place that there. Place that there. And try to carefully center the glitters. And I like to turn the glitters so they're like facing the same direction. Get kind of that little lip. You got kittens, Alana? That's awesome. You'll have to send me pictures. A couple of our ambassadors in different groups got kittens too, and they're so cute. Honestly, that was the first. So we've been looking for a dog for over a year. We were like approaching rescues and stuff, and we'd been approved. They just weren't approving us for specific dogs. It was very strange. So we were struggling a little bit with that. And then after we lost Eco, we looked at a kitten. My husband's boss is fostering kittens, but we only wanted one, and they're siblings, and so he didn't want to let them go separately. We just didn't want to take on 2 cats at once. It made sense to keep them together. We just didn't have that in our lives, but somehow I thought we had room for puppies in our lives. My husband's been talking to me about that, but he was free and he fell into our lap so serendipitously that I couldn't say no, and nobody else seems to blame me, so that's nice. I'm gonna replace this one. This one's a little miscut. I would rather it just be a little more even. This one's not a ton better. And he was free. He was a $1,500 dog for free. So we made sure if it didn't work out, we have responsible people who can take him on. We have worked with one of the rescues and then a friend of ours who would foster him too until we found a good home for him. So we're hoping he works out, but if he doesn't, we have done everything we possibly can. Make sure he won't end up in the shelter, and then if he does, we will, of course, be willing to take him back into our home, should that be something that's going to happen. So, but for now, he's working out, and we're happy, yay! I don't like the idea of him not working out. We are making it work right now, and it's only going to get a little bit easier once Kieran's back in school. I mean, ideally, this would have happened after he started school again, and we had a little bit more time back on our plate. But, there is very rarely perfect timing for anything. So, and Kieran loves him and has been more vocal and has been engaging with him. So there are a lot of positive things coming out of having him in the home. And if he is going to be a big dog, that's going to be good because Kieran's going to be a big kid. And that's kind of why we were looking at Labradoodles, because we knew Kieran was going to be bigger. And he's a little too much for our smaller dogs already, just because of his inability to sort of control how strong his pet in his grasp is. So having a bigger dog who's not going to be injured inadvertently was another goal that we had. But it looks like we're going to be having to take him over an hour away for therapy because locally we have been without a pediatric physical therapist for over 6 months now. Kieran is regressing a lot. So much so that they're having to change the kind of brace he's going to be in, and he may have to have ankle surgery. So we finally agreed to be sent into a further away hospital for a physical therapy program. But it's going to mean a lot of extra driving. So we have to decide how frequently we're going to do that. what that's going to look like. You know, life of a special needs parent. You have to figure out where you can balance and where you can fit things. I reached out to an old therapist who opened up a new program. Thanks, Michelle. I know you get it. She opened up her own program. She owns her own clinic. So I reached out to her to see if she would take us on as a cash patient. So I'm actually going to do a swirl on this one because I really like the glitter. So I reached out to her and hopefully I hear back. She's in Pasadena. It's quite a bit of a drive still, but I'm seeing, like, I know she's so effective with Kieran, and we've seen nothing but good from her when he worked with her when he was younger. He was with her till she was almost 3. But now she's doing physical therapy stuff and like a special kind of program that works a lot on the body's like responses and making those kind of become like automatic. Like, it's kind of like that idea of like, if you're going to fall, you don't really think about it. Your body sort of responds and tries to catch you. It's like that, but for disabled people. So it works differently on trying to train your system to kick in. And so for Kieran, when he isn't thinking about something, when his reactions are automatic, he is very smooth. He has a real sophistication to that movement that when he has to think about something isn't there. And so the idea of the program she's doing kind of works on building and giving more exposure to those automatic responses so that the brain writes those pathways. And like once those pathways are written in like in the nerves and in the brain, it's like autopilot. So I would really like to, even if we have to be cash patients, I'd really like the chance to work with her again. Just gonna, might mean we have to take out some care credit to pay for it. Because that kind of therapy is very expensive. And since she's not in network with us, it'll make it more expensive. But the nice thing about the children's hospital is they have all of the new gadgets and gizmos for larger pediatric patients that make it easier to help. Because right now, unfortunately, most of the clinics don't have the budget for that. And so it's a lot of teeny tiny women trying to lift my poor son, which means they run into the same problems I run into. And so at the hospital, they've got this robotic gait trainer that's super cool. It's called the Trexo. And it can, again, working on that idea of building repetition and building it into the body and having the body do it so much that the brain just sort of writes those pathways. So it'll like little robot that like moves your legs in the right pattern. It's very cool. And then like as the body takes over, the robot does less and less. It's very cool. Very sci-fi. All right. So now we have our Odark 100 and Sea Monster. And I did this sort of opposite. I wanted to kind of go opposite on the diagonal. And then we're going to cover this in clear to get that smooth layer and even out the glitters to the solid. I just have to find my clear. Oh, let's see. There it is. Right, Alana? Yes. It is amazing the kind of different kind of technology that they have. And it's always growing and it's always changing. So, very cool. Oh, did anybody see the story about Colin Farrell and his son? I haven't read the whole thing because I already knew about Colin Farrell and his son because another mom I know, she was actually in my Baby Bump Birth Mom online group, and her son has Angelman, which is what Colin Farrell's son has. And her son and my son were diagnosed at the same time. So it was very interesting, the differences and similarities between Emanuel Syndrome and, yeah, I just saw that too, Michelle. Yeah, my husband was crying. He read it because it really hit home with him, especially because fathers and, you know, they feel things in a very different yet similar way than moms. So, it's very cool. It's great to see him talking about it. Because really, that's the only thing that's going to bring awareness is being not afraid to talk about it. And having famous people talk about it, especially when they have a personal experience with it, versus like the top line talking about it like they do at fundraisers and stuff. So, very cool. Angelman has seizures like Kieran's syndrome does. And it's kind of considered like the most dangerous part of the Angelman, besides the fascination with water. It can lead to drownings. The seizures are, when they're uncontrolled, they're terrifying. And knock on wood and any other kind of throw salt over my shoulder, Kieran's last episode that was bad was a couple years ago. He had a smaller episode about a month and a half ago, but wasn't long enough for the doctor to consider changing his medication. Thank God. Some medications aren't fun either to control seizures. But even perfectly healthy people with epilepsy can experience SED, which is sudden epileptic death, which is very scary. So I think I would say that's my biggest fear with Kieran's condition. It makes it very hard for me to sleep away from him. Not that I maybe could do anything about it, but I don't know. That reptilian part of my brain that's just like, no, no, no. You're the mom. You have to be there for everything. He's convinced that I could. Swear. Mom brains are always out to get us, I feel like. I am just making sure that my sides are well coated. My glitter is well coated. Oh, Michelle, I am so sorry. See? Yeah. You know more than I do. Yeah. That's very, very, very scary. And for this larger nail, I'm going to do base around the glitter swirl first. Fill that with clear. And then we'll do the whole nail in clear. And that should make that an even surface. Or at least less uneven. And it should do it without being too thick. I guess that's the idea behind doing it. Oh, I love these press-on stands. I was able to get 3 sets done today. The filing is so much easier. The dipping is so much easier. All right. So I will let that set up a little bit, and then I will be able to dip. I usually do 2 layers of clear. The second layer is usually more focused in the center. And usually I try to do pour over for the second layer, because I don't need the coverage to be as deep and going under the glitters as much as just like over the glitters. So I'm just letting that thicken up a little bit so I can brush it off if I need to. All right. I'm gonna go with a thinner layer. I have a base over here that's a little more empty. But I just want to make sure when I'm buffing that I don't buff into those glitters. Double, triple clean out my glitter from my depot. Just to make sure. Spray bottle, spray bottle. There we are. So I just sprayed some alcohol in, and I'm taking a wipe, and I'm just picking up that glitter just to make sure. And I'm just going to do a little bit of pour over. A little bit of bumps from the glitter, so I'm just kind of softly press those down so I'm not making them larger. And then I will do a full cover on here with a little glitter river nail. Gonna do a little flat lay for that. I could almost get away with not doing another layer on this one, but out of an abundance of caution, with a little bit of a peak there, I will add one more layer of clear. Well, that's juicy maybe. That's set up. Where did my lid go? I don't want to spill. I don't see it. I don't know what I did with it. I'm gonna move that over here so I don't knock it over. Excuse me. Thirsty. What is everybody else up to tonight? If you have popped in, how are you? If you are here and we haven't talked about what you're doing or how you're doing. Again, the colors are Oh Dark 100 and Sea Monster. We're just letting that clear set up. It's really fun. The navy one was really fun. I liked it a lot. I'm looking at it this way, we have our thumb, our index, our center. Looks like I missed right there. Needs a tiny bit more clear. All right, I looked. Happens sometimes with the glitter rivers. She'll get like a little naked spot and makes it very uneven and weird looking. So it's always good to pick it up and turn it and examine it from different directions. Boop. Okay. Let that set up. What has been your most favorite colors recently, Michelle, from LYS? I think Liana and the purple from the Encanto have been two of my very favoriteest. It's hard to pick though. I love most of Cassandra's glitters. Even the gold ones, which I don't usually like. I usually don't like gold at all, but I was really excited about the ones that I used last week. They were so pretty. I don't think I need to put this on the nail, but I'm kind of looking at it just because I want to. It's these hollow mermaid stickers. There's like, or I guess, oh, they were turned around backwards. Okay. They looked like they were like this, and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. No, they were backwards. There we go. Little bit more purpley pastel than I was looking for. Would have worked 2 weeks ago, maybe. Yeah, I wouldn't really use it for these colors. Maybe turned around, I would have. But yeah, these are very purpley, pinky. Pretty though. Interesting little fishy tails and stuff. Oh, they're also stars. I am not good enough at and snow. That's weird. That one has a snowflake. Some of these are weird. The stars are cute because it's almost like little maps, like ocean maps, where you would travel. Oh yeah, the beach one. That was really beautiful. That was really beautiful. I liked the iridescent glitters in that one. Star charts, star maps. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. My brain. So some of that's cute here. And I like the jellyfish. They're like interesting looking and jellyfish-like without being weird. But the snowflake is a little strange. I mean, obviously it snows in Antarctica, so there is snow on the ocean. I guess there's going to be a snowy mermaid or a snowy jellyfish. That's not something I would have thought of. All right, so that should have set up enough that I can activate without turning it to goo. I'm just gonna brush off the one that we had to add a little bit of extra to, and then we'll go in and we will activate. Where'd my activator go? Base, 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 top coat, activator, activator. All right. So I'm activating the 3 glitters first because I don't have to do anything extra. They don't really need to be pressed down. They're already very flat. So I'm just kind of painting that on. And then I think the thumb is pretty good. I think I'm just going to need to buff it and make sure that I buff it into a nice shape. But the glitter should be fine. green, just that middle one. It's got a little bit of the extra dry clear on it, so. Yeah, it still has like a little bit of a bumpy glitter right there. So I'm just gonna press it down a little bit. Since it's not too sticky, I should be able to flatten it out pretty good without causing wrinkling. Oh, Abuela was really pretty too, yeah. Yeah, I think the Encanto collection was really gorgeous. It was an overall win. And one of my son's favorite movies, so. He loves the singing and the dancing and the bright colors. Okay. So letting that harden up a little bit. Yeah. It's okay, Kim. Some people are Disney people, some people are not Disney people, some people are classic retro Disney and not new Disney. And some people are just Disney HOs and watch all the Disney. There is no wrong way to be. I have got to reorganize my room again. I've gotten too much nail art goodies in and have not had time to arrange and put them all away. Little Mermaid, like the new one or the old one? And Tangled. Tangled was really fun. Tangled was really fun. I liked that one. Gathering some of my stickies that I have left places. We're just waiting for the clear to harden, so it's not sticky when I go to file. Both awesome. I have not seen the new one yet. I've been mostly watching Encanto and the 3 Trolls movies because my son loves the Trolls movie. So those are kind of on repeat along with Elmo in this house. Trying to decide if we need any more oceany elements added. I haven't used any of my seahorses this year. But I don't think the pearls would really go with this. It's more of that toxic siren mermaidy look. Probably fine. I'm just looking to complicate things because that's what I do. That's what I do. Gets me into trouble every time. I'm gonna keep these out for Halloween. I bought a bin that I'm just gonna put all of my Halloween stuff in, so I can just have one art place to go to, look at all the art I've bought, look at all the stickers and decals I've bought, and work from there so I don't forget them again. I'm so bad, and I'm always like forgetting that I have certain things, and then I go and buy it, and then I have like 5 of the same stickers. Oy. I'm just tapping off some of the dust off my files so I can go in here. Most of these are very, very smooth, so we're just really ensuring we have that narrow sidewall that I'm looking for and that we haven't lost the shape of the tip and the cuticle. So like free edge, cuticle, and sidewalls are mostly what I'm looking at right now. Wanting to make sure they're even and thin. And then we'll top coat. So I'm taking my files to the sidewall and mostly using the buffer on the rest, but that will change as needed, if needed. Kind of bringing back that taper to the front, making sure the cuticle is still rounded. Let it tapers down to the cuticle nicely. If I'm talking too low, let me know, sorry. I tend to get a little mumbly as I get into it. You can kind of see where the file is heating up. It's changing the color a little bit. That's the thermal reaction. I'm using the grittier side for areas where I'm not worried about cutting into glitters, and then the finer sides for areas I need to be more delicate on. Then the way most of the tips I find, my middle finger will be shaped more like my thumb, so it'll have that flatter cuticle shape versus the round. So I always try to get it before I dip and then kind of again after I dip, because I have round cuticles on my middle finger and I have a flat straight cuticle on my thumb. That's kind of where I see a lot of the tips are made that way. Yep, something to watch out for if you notice that on your own tips. You can adjust that before you apply. Keep bumping my camera. Hi, Dragon Firefly, if you're still there. I didn't see you pop in. We are just finish filing our set. If you want to keep watching, but you have stuff to do, I am live on YouTube. So YouTube usually lets you do multiple things at once, or throw it up on the TV if you like. I went into horizontal mode so I could be put on the TV if necessary. I don't like that we can't do that with vertical mode. I shouldn't be limited. I should be able to watch whatever I want, wherever I want to watch it. So YouTube, if you're ever listening. As you can see, the thumb is a little bit flatter there. Ouch. Dusting off. We lost a little bit of our clear over that glitter. Bummer. All right. Give them a good spray down to make sure I get their dust off before I top coat and base coat. So I'm just spraying with 90% alcohol. Just giving them a little wipe off. Then I'm actually going to activate one more time. And then we'll dry wipe that. And then base coat and top coat with gel. Ah, keep clipping my glove. The magnets are so strong. It keeps taking my glove. All right. This is still a little lumpy bumpy from the glitters. So I may. Sometimes I'll add builder gel if I need to. Not sure if I have any back here at the moment. Yes, I do. So yeah, I'll probably add a little bit of base gel to that glitter and add a tiny dot of builder gel just to smooth that out a little bit. Make my life a little bit easier and a little bit less risky for filing. Then I'll bump into one of those glitters. Doesn't need much. Just a little bit of smoothing right there. Got a little air bubble. All right, not bad. So sometimes, even if you've got sort of a rough base set up, you may find that builder gel peels off. So if you do find that to be happening, if your top gel or your builder gel is peeling off, add base gel, and that should stop that from happening, because then the top gel or the builder gel will adhere to the base gel. Because gel likes gel, generally. All right. Pop that into the lamp for 60 seconds before I add the builder gel. These look pretty done, and any imperfections are going to be smoothed by the self-leveling gel top coat. So I'm just wiping off excess activator, because sometimes it makes my base gel act a little funky. I am just doing a thin layer of gel base. And then I will do gel top coat. And it's basically just to prevent that peeling that I have been seeing lately. I don't know, sometimes I can go sets and sets and sets with just doing gel top coat and I won't see any peeling. And then sometimes I'll just have 3 or 4 sets in a row where I get a little peeling at the tips. So I'm not sure really what makes the difference. Maybe it's amount of time curing. Maybe it's how much activator I wiped off. I don't know. We like to troubleshoot here. We don't like to pretend everything's perfect. Okay, so we're gonna pop those into the lamp for 60 seconds. Then we are going to top with the builder gel on this middle nail and then pop that into the lamp. So again, I am just evening out those glitters. And then we will spread it. And sort of encouraging it to pull down the sides of the nail. This one's going to go in the light. I'm going to pull out the other ones. They're ready for top coats. So you can kind of see the thermal change. Very, very pretty. As I drop the builder gel. So yeah, so let's see if I can get the lighting a little bit better there. Top coat. No, that's my old one. That's my old gel top coat. Where's the new gel top coat? There it is. Got that back in the lamp. I'm going to wipe this off with alcohol so I can buff over those glitters just a little bit. Make sure it's not too thick. You see how much heat filing produces by the change in the thermal, even through the builder gel on the top coats. Base coat. Okay. Give that another good wipe down. And then we'll top coat it and throw her in the lamp. I'm just hanging it upside down to pull that top coat away from the sidewalls and more towards the center. Then I will pop that into the lamp with the rest of the nails for another 60 seconds. And we'll be done. Got filing dust on my iPad. He's a mess. He's a mess. Any questions? Any other colors that you guys wanted to see for me from past collections I can go through? Gathering all my swatch sticks so I can put them away. I've been very good about making my swatch sticks. I have been very bad about organizing my swatch sticks. And sometimes still not great about labeling my swatch sticks. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So this is Abuela and Isabella, which are two of my favorites from the Encanto collection. I really liked Bruno because I like a good toxic green and I like a good glow. Okay. So here is our O Dark 100 and Sea Monster Manny. It is... Nope. Okay. Oh, that's there. Nope, still wrong. All right, looking at it this direction, we've got thumb, index, middle, ring, and pinky. You can see a little bit of the purple change. In O Dark 100, it's a purple to navy with these beautiful micro shimmers. They're like micro silver reflective glitter. So pretty. So, anyways, thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. I have missed y'all. Glad I could make it happen today. And then I am not doing a live next weekend. Brittany is. So Brit's Manny's will be doing a live. So hopefully I can pop in. And then I will be following up again with a live after that. So not next Friday, but the Friday after I should be here. All right. I hope everybody has a fabulous rest of your weekend. Take care. Bye. Oh, sorry I missed you, Brandy. I didn't see you come in. Thank you for watching. Anybody else I missed? Hello, hello. Thank you again. Bye.